He was a French aristocrat, a Catholic, a father of four. He coached his children's rugby team. He attended Sunday Mass. He kissed them goodnight. Then he drugged them, shot each one twice in the head, buried them under the patio, and disappeared. That was April 2011. France has never stopped looking for him. He has never been found. To understand this case, you need to understand who Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès was, or who he appeared to be. He came from one of France's oldest aristocratic families, a lineage that stretched back before the Revolution. His father held the title of Count. Xavier inherited that title in January 2011, 3 months before the murders. He also discovered the title came with no money. His wife Agnès was 48, warm, devout, deeply loved by everyone who knew her. Their children, Arthur, 20, Thomas, 18, Anne, 16, Benoit, 13. They lived in a comfortable house in Nantes. They went to church together every Sunday. Xavier coached the boys in rugby. He was, by every external measure, a devoted family man. But beneath the surface, Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès was drowning. His business ventures had all failed. He had accumulated debts he could not repay. He had been lying to his wife for years about their financial situation. And in early 2011, the lies were about to collapse. What investigators would later piece together was not a crime of passion. It was a plan, methodical, weeks in the making. In the days before the murders, Xavier visited multiple hardware stores across the Nantes area. He bought cement, digging tools, 4 bags of lime, spread across different shops so no single purchase would raise suspicion. He owned a .22 caliber rifle. He went to a local shooting club to practice in the weeks before. He sent letters, carefully written, carefully timed, to family members and employers. The letters said the family was relocating to Australia. Xavier had been recruited for a secret mission with the American Drug Enforcement Administration. They would be out of contact for some time. The letters were designed to buy him weeks. He also ended the lease on their house, cancelled the children's school enrollments, told his wife's employer she would not be returning. Every trace of the family's future was being quietly erased. What investigators would later piece together was not a crime of passion. It was a plan, methodical. Weeks in the making. In the days before the murders, Xavier visited multiple hardware stores across the Nantes area. He bought cement, digging tools, 4 bags of lime, spread across different shops so no single purchase would raise suspicion. He owned a .22 caliber rifle. He went to a local shooting club to practice in the weeks before. He sent letters, carefully written, carefully timed, to family members and employers. The letters said the family was relocating to Australia. Xavier had been recruited for a secret mission with the American Drug Enforcement Administration. They would be out of contact for some time. The letters were designed to buy him weeks. He also ended the lease on their house, cancelled the children's school enrollments, told his wife's employer she would not be returning. Every trace of the family's future was being quietly erased. It was the small things that began to unravel it. Neighbors noticed the house was quiet. Teachers noticed the children hadn't returned to school. Agnès' colleagues noticed she hadn't come back from holiday. On April 21, 2011, 16 days after the murders, police entered the family home in Nantes. They found the house clean and ordered. No signs of violence, no signs of struggle. Then they went into the garden. Under the back patio sealed in concrete, they found the bodies of Agnès, Arthur, Thomas, Anne and Benoit, each wrapped in blankets, each shot twice. France had not seen anything like this. By the time the bodies were found, Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès was already gone. Surveillance cameras traced his route south through France. Budget hotels, cash payments, moving steadily toward the coast. His last confirmed sighting was April 15th, near Roquebrune-sur-Argent on the French Riviera, checking out of a budget motel. His car was found abandoned in the car park. He had walked away from it, and into nothing. An Interpol red notice was issued. A European arrest warrant followed. His face went across every news outlet in France, and then internationally. He became the most wanted man in France. The theories multiplied. Some believed he had killed himself, that the guilt or the shock had been too much to survive. But no body was ever found, and investigators knew his planning had been too methodical for an unplanned end. In 2019, a man was arrested at Glasgow Airport, Scotland. French and Scottish authorities announced they had found Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès. The news broke across the world. Within 24 hours, they confirmed it was a case of mistaken identity. Fingerprints did not match. The hunt continued. A former French cybercrime officer who worked on the case wrote a book in 2026 claiming Xavier had boarded a flight from Nice using false identity documents and had been living in the United States ever since. In the same year, Brewster County, Texas posted a public request for information after a tip placed Xavier in the area in 2020, walking with a black Labrador. He had reportedly told people years earlier that Texas was one of his favorite places. In 2025, new leads pointed to Malta. In a convent in eastern France, investigators followed another sighting. Every lead dissolved. As of 2026, Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès has been missing for 15 years. He remains a subject of an active international arrest warrant. He has never been charged in court because he has never been found. Here is what is certain. 5 people who trusted him with their lives are buried. His wife loved him. His children adored him. They had no reason to fear the man who tucked them in at night. He kissed them goodnight, and then he killed them. The planning took weeks. The motive was, at its core, financial humiliation. A man who could not face the collapse of the image he had built. An aristocrat who had nothing left but the name. And children who knew too much about the reality behind the facade. He had been lying to everyone for years about the money, about the DEA job that never existed, about the life he was supposedly building for his family. The only truth he left behind was what he buried under the patio. Somewhere in the world, there is a man in his 60s. He has been living under a different name for 15 years. He knows every face of every child he killed. He carries that with him every day. Or perhaps he does not. Perhaps that is the most disturbing possibility of all. That a man capable of this kind of planning is also capable of the kind of compartmentalization that allows him to start again, to become someone else, to live. France has never stopped looking for him. He is still out there. Agnès, Arthur, Thomas, and Benoit. This was case 0.